Hey guys, what's happening? Oliver here again. We are doing a little video this time. I'm just back from Japan. Went for the Mooneyes Hot Rod Custom Show and gonna kind of walk through some of the pictures in the video that I took and explain a bunch of stuff. And I mean, you might have seen some of my other videos. I have a very long history with Japan, lived there, worked there, etc. So kind of a little bit of an inside story on some of this stuff in the video. I actually moved to Japan to live in 1999. I went there and visited for the first time January 1999. I was doing a lot with import cars and racing and shows and all that kind of stuff back then. I decided to go check out another show that's there that's probably even bigger than the Mooneyes Show, but it's mostly dealing with JDM and import stuff. So I went over there for that. That was amazing, blew my mind. Never seen anything like it. I instantly knew, like, I clicked with this culture, like the level at which people operate there was like, I felt at home. So seeing that show was amazing. However, seeing all the other stuff in Tokyo on that trip blew my mind even more. I knew right then and there, like, I had to move, I had to live there. I didn't know what I was gonna do. I was in school for design. I basically went home and immediately dropped out of college in my junior year to move to Japan. I sold basically everything I had, and by June I was living there on my own. Didn't really know anybody. I met like one or two people on this trip, and like, you know, this is sort of this is internet era, but very early on. This is late 90s, so you know, some rudimentary emails back and forth. Hey, I'm coming. So anyway, I moved there, and basically I was already involved in sort of skateboarding and street culture and just music and a lot of other things. Having just been back there after sort of a 3 or 4 year hiatus because of COVID and all that, it was actually really good to get back and see a lot of my old friends. This trip was sort of specifically for Mooneyes Hot Rod Custom Show in Yokohama. My involvement with the show is pretty long. I think I started going to that show 2010 or 11, around there. I had been in Japan many times while that show was going on, but like something never worked. I never went anyway. Once I got more into the bike stuff, I decided to go every year. I did go every year. I think I've been a guest builder. I've been a guest there, I think 5 times.
The show is amazing, right? Every single year, I don't know what to do. There's so many good bikes, so many good cars. I can't choose one that's better than the other. I walk around here all day long until my feet hurt, and it's just, you have to come here and see the show. It's insane. There's too many cars, too many bikes. I leave here and my brain is fried. I can't even think. I can't even remember what I saw. There's that much good stuff.
Born Free 6, June 28th and 29th. Buy a ticket, win this goddamn shovel.
The first bike I took to, or was invited to Mooneyes with, was I just call it the black bike. It's my black Shovelhead. It was Born Free 6. I didn't win anything with that bike, but it was really well received. And it subsequently got invited to be part of the show. What they used to do at Mooneyes was the load-in day is Saturday. So you go, your bike gets shipped, it's gone for about a month. You get to Japan, you go Saturday to the dock, you pick up your bike, it's been in a container, you hope it starts. There's always somebody it won't start for whatever reason. It always happens every year. Anyway, got the bike started. That was the last year that because what they used to do is ride from the dock to the venue on Saturday for the setup day, and Mooneyes would film and all that stuff. And they knew that was gonna be the last year for it. So anyway, we all take off, we're riding, they're filming, whatever. And they told us, if your bike stops for whatever reason, just pull off to the side, we'll have a chase truck come get you, take you to the thing. They weren't riding from the dock to the venue, they were riding back to Mooneyes headquarters, and then they were gonna load the bikes on a truck and bring them to the venue because there's some issue with the venue and loud noises and they don't want that. So anyway, we start riding, we're at a light. For some reason, my bike cut off. Everybody takes off. I pulled over, kicked it again, got it running. By then, everyone was out of sight. I didn't know where everybody went. And I'm like, man, I've ridden in Yokohama before. I've basically lived here, not in Yokohama, but I've ridden enough around to where like, I kind of know where I'm going. So let me just ride. So anyway, I started riding and made a left, made a right, went around, kept riding. And I was like, oh, cool, I kind of know where I am. I didn't know how to get back to the Mooneyes headquarters, but I did know how to get back to the venue. So I ended up just riding back by myself, kind of all through Yokohama up to the venue and just kind of rolled right in. And everyone was like, what the heck, where is it? You know, like everyone was confused as to what was happening or whatever. So then I was able to call and straighten it all out. But anyway, that was a cool experience because now we don't get to ride in town anymore. That used to be kind of a big part of the show, but that's done. So that actually got the last year of that, which is cool for that bike. And of course, riding in is like hectic. Like, again, like you hope your bike starts, all that kind of stuff. There's the doors open and it's like the red carpet. There's like thousands of people on both sides and you're sort of like, you got to go slow, but you know, you don't want to stall, you don't want to go too slow, like fall over or something. So you kind of have to like, you know, it's not tricky, but it's a little hectic, I guess. But yeah, that was my first experience with that, and it was definitely crazy. So that was a good one. So just a little bit of background on that bike. It was actually a bike that I kind of started to do a build on before I moved to California. I moved here the year of Born Free 5. I was hoping to have that bike sort of like just together and in my booth for Born Free 5, but I was still like building a place to live and a shop and all this stuff, so I didn't really get it done. Anyway, I got subsequently invited to bring that bike to Born Free 6 as a builder. So I built the bike for Born Free 6. I just wanted, I mean, I remember, it's been so long. And by the way, there's another video of actually like a Born Free video of this bike getting built that they filmed. It's on my YouTube channel if you go back and look. And there's yeah, some pretty good footage of it. But that bike, I just remember going to Born Free, you know, it's primarily like a sort of typical traditional chopper kind of show. That's just not really me. I just wanted to build just something that like, I just literally was just building like from the heart, like what I like, screw like what the norm is and screw like whatever. I just built what I liked. Anyway, 1821 Kim tab setup, swing arm shovel. I think it was a 1980 shovel, 3 5/8 bore and stock strokes. I believe is an 88 cubic inch. It had dual Karada mags on it. It had hot dock rocker boxes. It had a really cool like kind of primary setup that I did. Like it had actually a Japanese, what they call auto racer front end, which is like a sort of like a board track, flat track kind of front end that they use over there for racing. So I used that, made that all work. I mean, just custom everything. Made the tank from scratch, made the fender from scratch, made the oil tank from scratch, modified the frame a bunch, deraked, stretched, yada, yada, yada. Lots of little details in that bike. But to this day, it's still probably one of my favorites. I don't own the bike anymore. I'm kind of trying to maybe get it back at some point, but I do sort of like really kind of regret selling that one, I guess. But you got to do what you got to do to live. So, but yeah, that one was sort of a special one to me. That was my first Born Free build. A lot of people say it's their favorite bike ever. It's definitely one of my favorite that I've built. So I don't know, maybe one day I'll get it back. The second bike I got invited to the Hot Rod Show with was the Erebus Shovelhead. That's the one I won Best Builder, I think it was Born Free 7. That bike, I mean, killed me. That bike really killed me. Gave me all my gray hair. Made everything, literally. Made the frame, made the wheels, made the front end, made the tank, made the fenders, made the oil, I mean, literally every single piece is made from scratch. I think it was 103 cubic inch generator, alternator, shovel, billet, top end, shovel head, like stupid compression, Evo oiling, clear Kennedy style rocker boxes with clear tops, clear primary. What else, man? Crazy electric start setup on that. Bar setup was wild. I mean, just everything was wild. The wheels were crazy, like 3-piece rotiform, one-off made Kim Tab wheels, carbon fiber fender, carbon wrapped tank, carbon wrapped oil tank, headlight I mean, all kind of wild stuff. Anyway, my good buddy owns that bike now, actually. Another one that I had to let go. It is what it is.
Yeah, Oliver from THECUTRATE. It's awesome to be back here for a second year and see all my friends again and say hello to everybody, and everybody enjoy the bikes and have a good time.
The third bike, and I think there was like maybe a year or two off between the last one and this one, was my Twin Cam Turbo FXR. This was I don't remember the year, it was maybe an 82 or 3 frame. I know it was early. The fairing actually I got from a guy in Japan the year before. He was actually hand sculpting a shrunk down, not extremely small like some of the ones you see now, but it like 30% smaller. I shrunk down the gas tank and the dash and the whole thing to sort of proportionately fit the rest of the bike. That had a Sirianni front end, sort of gold Thunderstar wheels, PM brakes all the way around, and that bike actually, if you look at the gas tank, the right-hand side of the tank is a clear shell of basically that side of the tank is completely clear, and there's a nitrous bottle inside of the tank that I use the nitrous to cool the intercooler. And I don't remember what else was on that bike. Suede seat, custom bars. I pretty much made everything on that bike too. Going back to the show after a few years of taking a break, like I definitely wanted to go and just sort of enjoy the show. Like other years I've been a guest, had a booth. When you have a booth, you're stuck in the booth, you're busy selling stuff all day. That's great, but I really just wanted to go and just like see friends and just enjoy the show for the show. I did get roped into doing a pick for Hot Bike magazine. My buddy Jordan runs Hot Bike, and he asked me to pick a bike for the Hot Bike pick, which I did, which was, you know, that was also rewarding to be able to do that, get on stage and introduce that whole thing.
At the bottom right now, I think he did a really, really interesting, good job with that bike, and only can go up from here, so that's why I chose the bike. It's really good.
So just looking at some of my pictures of stuff that I took, the bikes that I noticed, this is an old bike built by Ace Motorcycle from Kobe, but it now belongs to a friend of mine from Kumamoto named Kings. His name is Gigi Gima. Black Kim tabs, two-throat carburetor, mag, Sumax rear fender, you know, it's just got like all the stuff I like on this bike. I've always liked this bike. He changed a few parts and did some stuff to it, but I thought it did look familiar. That's one that definitely caught my eye. And scrolling on, like my buddy Komatsu built this FXR, kind of chopper FXR. Again, like he's kind of killing it right now. He won the award that I gave for the Hot Bike. With not this bike. I mean, this bike I felt like was my obvious choice for like badass, you know, but it's also a badass FXR. It's almost expected. So I was like, I think the Softail took a little bit more, there's just not as many cool Softails, so that caught my eye more. But anyway, as I'm scrolling, there's the Softail. There was a shop called Bootleg that did this cool KZ, black KZ with flames all over it. You know, typical like late 70s, early 80s drag bike look. Again, similar to what I just finished building, so that just sort of caught my eye. 7 motorcycle, this all chrome one. I think my buddy Dave gave this an award. I think he won or got something last year, but clean, nice bike, nice details. Let's see what other motorcycles caught my eye here as I scroll. I took a lot of pictures. So this was a 64 Pan that my buddy Cooney built for another customer of his. I don't know, just something about this bike, I really liked it. The blue sort of vinyl seat matched with the blue metallic frame sparkle, the gray panels over a chrome tank, like just a lot of stuff I liked on this bike. It was just pretty cool. Interesting combination. Shin from Neighborhood, his XR, Ironhead XR, crazy. This was like a drag bike motor that he had from years ago, and Hot Doc just sort of rebuilt this sort of like tracker style build for him using that motor. I want to say I saw that motor at his place like 10 plus years ago, so he's had it for a while, but it's cool to see it back. And it's a really, really cool bike, typical of he's always bringing out cool stuff. This is my buddy Yass's I think it's a WR. He's had this bike for a really long time. It's the famous shark mouth bike. He just recently upgraded the front end to a Vard front end because he throws an event in Kanazawa, which is like his hometown. They have a beach race that they do every year there, or maybe even more than every year, twice a year or something. But he puts that event on, and his crew. So this bike has gotten more and more sort of like beach racer vibes as of late, block tires and different wheels and such. But yeah, it was cool to see him bring this bike back out. This Fireball Twin Cam FXR that my buddy Takashi built, and he built this bike for the most famous guy in Japan, Tomoya. He's like a really famous actor and everything and has a lot of bikes. But he built this bike, this Flame Twin Cam FXR. It's got my wheels on it and my fender struts. I helped him out with getting a lot of the parts. It's just clean, classic flames, good color combo. It's not overly radical or anything like that. It's just really good looking. Oh, and then also he just also built. He's not really a chopper builder, but he just built this chopper. It's sort of really straight line, sort of. It's an Evo chopper, so sort of high performance chopper kind of deal. Like sort of like what you need to have on one of these things, like straight shotgun pipes, dual disc, 16 or 18, 19 setup, black tubes, like cool paint. Like this thing's just like a hammer, man. This thing will just get the job done. I think it's a really cool bike, good lines. This Hide motorcycle, he had this Ironhead. It's a very cool. I'm not really an Ironhead fan per se, but it had like the TT oil tank, and the paint on this thing was super cool. That hand painted like eagle or hawk on the tank looked just like really, really cool. The artwork is really cool. Good graphics. My buddy Gak built this other really cool knucklehead with like a high 2-in-1, and the whole tank and rear fender is covered in marbleized vinyl, and it almost looks like louvers on the side of the tank, but in fact it's like tuck and roll stitched in, and then the actual seat is the same material, and the frame is like also similar color. So, and my friend's Scope is actually the guy that pinstriped this bike. But it's a really cool, like interesting, like a leather wrapped, vinyl wrapped tank and fender, which you don't see very often. That's pretty cool. This other one, my buddy Hide built this really cool cone shovel with like a Denver style rigid front end, the lightning paint job on it. It's like blue with sort of like electric lightning paint. The seat is like a crushed velvet, dark blue gray kind of color, like sort of an odd color, but works really good on top of this bluish purple. Interesting. Hide's like just a home builder. He makes really cool bikes, like a lot of long bikes, and he rides the hell out of them. So this thing was really cool. I was glad to see he built another one. Luck, Masa, he consistently comes with wild stuff. This thing is full chrome, like, yeah, just got all the Masa stuff on it, and it's shiny. It's pretty good. What else we got here? Kosuke. Not a motorcycle, but my buddy now built this insane little like carnival ride thing. It's probably like used to be like a little bumper car or something like that, but I don't know. It's from the 50s. He's got a little like scooter engine in it, and it's just got a little bench seat and a little steering wheel, and it's called the Spaceship, and it is super cool. I know it won a bunch of awards because the thing's tiny, and he's not like the littlest guy either. To see him driving around in this thing was hilarious, and it's like, it's just got like a real cool 50s like spaceship carnival ride, glitter paint kind of vibe to it. But I honestly, he told me that he like built this thing in like not long at all, a few weeks. Like basically had it and was like, that'll be cool, and just sort of whipped it up, and it was actually really cool. And again, not a motorcycle, but I'm going to talk about this Pantera. It was kind of the highlight of the show for me. The guy that built this car actually built the DeLorean that I gave an award to a few years ago. Even though I'm a motorcycle guy, I picked the car as my favorite thing at the show. But this Pantera really kind of knocked my socks off. It's ridiculous. It's like an off-road Baja Pantera in all black with turbo fans on the rear wheels, and like all this crazy stuff on it. And man, I really like it. I really, really like it. It's not normal at all, but I really like it. But yeah, it was actually really nice just to walk around and just enjoy the show and see people and buy some stuff and all that. The Mooneyes Show is like, it's very much the same every year. It's ran really well. It's great. It's everything like that felt exactly the same to me. Outside of that, like Japan, like having lived there for so long, and it's really sort of like my second home. So many things are different, like so many new buildings, things that were there forever are gone, new things that, it's just really wild. And like how much of a tourist destination it's become now, like worldwide. It's sort of a trip to me. It's hard for me to even like fathom that. When I first went there, no one I knew had been there, and now everyone I know has been there. So in the last 25 years, a lot has changed. It's really sort of reignited a fire in me, just going and being there and just experiencing the whole thing again. So who knows? I already have some stuff planned, but I might be coming up with some more ideas for some stuff to do with Japan or in Japan, some new projects perhaps. I already have another trip tentatively planned, and maybe do some vlogging stuff and sort of like a real actual insider's perspective, and like introducing some things that I think are like awesome there, amazing, that you probably wouldn't know about otherwise. So yeah, it's definitely was a good trip for me.